who's back.
Welcome to What's Wacky to Us. We've been missing in action, MIA. We was in the jungles of Bogota, Colombia, hidden. Psych. But we here. We're going to do the wrap up for 20. We had to do one for, what's this, the end of 2023, going into 2024?
And you will hear from us a lot more in 2024.
Yeah, I know that's what we always say, but it depends on how the wind is blowing when we do these podcasts.
Just saying. Thank you for joining us on What's Wacky to Us. We're glad to be back, and we have a super, I guess somewhat controversial, but a good topic because it's about stuff that everyone thinks but doesn't necessarily say. And the topic is...
What is it?
Do they sell you cool to keep you stupid?
Whoa. That's going to touch a lot of people because a lot of these young people today, they might not like what we got to say about that.
And that's per usual.
You know, because that's like, is it subjective or is it debatable?
I think it's a little bit of both. Because, I mean, you know, we were just talking about how, what rapper was it?
Well, you could call him a rapper. Gilly the Kid.
Okay, was discussing a higher education not being worth the investment, the time, etc., because he knows someone in his little corner of the world who went to a 4-year university and now works for someone who never went to college.
Went to college for 6 years.
Okay, so they weren't driving.
He works for somebody that actually
is just
you know, he went to high school and he has a company, but Gilly the Kid is going to be, you know, he got lucky with his podcast, and because he used to try to be a rapper, and that didn't work out for him. You know, he did some ghostwriting, so he claims and all this and that. But his real fame, and he got popular through a podcast, and that's luck. It just fell in his lap. It's like really luck. And I'm quite sure these guys, because there's a lot of people talking about, school is over. They don't teach you what you need to know, and school is overrated. Now, we can unpack a lot when it goes to that, because these same people, these stars and whoever, I can almost guarantee you all of their kids is going to college.
Pretty much.
And going to private school right now. And why? Because you want your kid to get a really good education. So
they can have a solid footing in life?
You know, so I don't know.
So they can critically think, so that they can actually not be stupid? You know, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, you know, shoved education down our throats. A lot of us rebelled against it. A lot of us went for it. There's nothing wrong with being educated. Nothing. And to encourage people not to seek higher learning or education is highly irresponsible. And it's just part of the contraption that we're all in right now of, you know, everyone wants to be an influencer, everyone wants to be a rapper, everyone wants to be an entertainer, everyone wants social media fame, everybody wants all of these things that are only attainable for a select few. Most of you don't have the personality. Most of you don't have the tech savviness to create content on a daily basis.
Drive.
It's the drive, the motivation, the whole thing. And, you know, Rick made a great point when, you know, they were like, oh, look at Mark Zuckerberg. He dropped out of college to, you know, and he became this multi-billionaire. But where was Mark Zuckerberg?
Harvard.
One of the most elite schools in the entire world. Okay? So he actually had to get there in the first place, had been there for a couple of years as it was. And granted, you know, I'm sure with his background, he also had a lot of education in order to get into Harvard. We're in a era now where education is so easily accessible that there's no excuse not to seek higher learning.
But that goes into, you know, a whole nother animal. Like, yeah, we got a bunch of information that wasn't there for us when we was growing up. But so I feel like right now it's like information overload. It's like information overload. And it's like when you're studying, if you study too much and too long during the day without a break, you know, you won't retain the information that you're trying to retain. So we never get a break from all of this information because every day from morning till night, it's something coming at you, How to, you know, everything you do is somebody on social media to say you're doing it wrong. So stuff could be working for you, and it kind of confuses. It will confuse you if you pay a lot of attention to it because now it's like, dang, let me try this. Now that's going to take you off your game that was actually working for you to go over here in this uncharted territory, and it's probably not going to work for you because it take a lot. And another thing with all of this, everybody can be a millionaire. You don't have to go to school. Well, what works for me was like the more educated I got and the more I educated myself, the further I was able to go. And I know that's because the books you're reading that's helping educate you, self-educate you, trust me, most of those books, probably 98% are written by scholars and people with higher education. So you're really getting sold something in today's world. They're selling you the coolness of saying, nah, I'm going to make it on my own. I don't have to go to school. Because look at the way the world is changing. They really want you not to think for yourself. And what will have you not thinking for yourself? Not being educated. You will not be thinking for yourself.
And who's the easiest to control out here? The most confused and most uneducated fools out here who are told what to like, what to think, what's hot, what's not, what to buy. They're constantly with these mediocre and subpar bullshit is shoved down the youth's throat, and they all think it's all attainable. Like your what do you call it? Who you look up to is a Sexy Red. Why? Why are you looking up to Sexy Red?
Your mentor, your idol.
Your idol. What would possess any parent to accept Sexy Red going to their kids' middle school as inspiration for the kids? And you get the pushback that's, oh, they're going to listen to it anyway. And, you know, these kids out here already know what ski yee is and they already know. That's all well and good. I guarantee you, in a school where active parents who have an ounce of common sense would never tolerate someone like that coming to their children's school to inspire them. There's nothing gained. Yes. There is nothing that is inspiring about having someone like Sexy Red, gunshots again, because she is just, you know, because she's the epitome of giving the black woman a representation that is so low life and so untrue, but now it's become par for the norm. And she's cool. She's hood. She's hood rat who made it, so to speak. She's uneducated and can barely form a coherent sentence, but she made it. So now your 12-year-old daughter is aspiring to be on somebody's stage with her breasts out, with a pregnant belly and a thong on and shoes she can barely walk in.
Yeah, that's a little crazy. I'm going to go even deeper into that because the whole Sexy Red thing is, it's like, you can blame her, but at the same time you can't, because she was put there because of how the world is today. They are tapping what's going on now. They're tapping in that. They're leaving no market unturned. So they got a whole market of people like Sexy Red that that will buy her music because they're underachievers. They're not that, they're definitely not that bright. They're not that beautiful, so it's like going against everything that was. So she's not gonna be. If she could have been like the dirty little project girl, whatever. Not even nothing to the project people because beautiful women in the project. But it's like she could be that dirty little girl. She don't want to go back to that. So she gonna do. They find you at your lowest level. Always remember everything. When you find somebody at their lowest level, these people are willing to do whatever. And it's like even when you're building something up. You're not going to build nothing up with people that's already made it. You got to get people, if you're trying to build an army, you're going to build your army from the ground. People that's so close to the ground, they like, yo, you make them feel good about themselves, they all in. she can eat what she want, feed her kids, she not going back. They gonna tell her, yo, do this, do that, do this, do that. She's gonna do it. And there's a lot of male rappers like that too. These people sell their soul. I mean, it's not even selling your soul to the devil. It's just that they have been compromised. And then later in life, you will see them, because it always happens. Yeah, they get their money up, and then they want to start doing good deeds. They want to start coming out and trying, once they start reading more and stuff. Because money always puts you in company of different types of people. So you're not, now, the people that you used to relate to, you don't relate to them no more. And you can't. You're up here now. So now you're reading, your mind is open. You're like, wow, these people really use me. And that's when they'll bring you down. When you don't want to do what they tell you to do, now they're going to bring you down. So you have to be aware of what you sign on for. And a lot of people are really not aware of what they're actually signing on for. All they want is money. And for you young mothers out there, always remember this. The music that you're cleaning your house to the Sexy Red music, the Sukihana, all the Val music. I didn't know nothing about Sam Cooke and Marvin Gaye and all of them. I didn't grow up on that, but I knew about it from my mother playing that stuff. Gospel songs. My Aunt Jeanette, she used to play gospel music. All this stuff was before my time, but I knew about it, and they cleaning up this and that. So this is the same things happening today. So when you hear your kid saying ski and all this other nonsense and what they want to do and how they going to do all these explicit things to men and all this for money, don't be surprised, because you're paying it. You're feeding it to them. You're feeding that to your little 3, 4, 5, 6 on up year old. You know, I don't know, but that's we always giving our 2 cents.
True. How many memes have we seen of people talking about when your mama's cleaning up on a Sunday to some gospel music and the same thing? Because I did the same thing with our boys. I would be cleaning the house, and yes, I used to listen to rap music, and I listened to the 90s rap music that still had substance. And consequently, my kids still listen to 90s rap music. And that's not a bad thing per se. It's just it's like you said, it's an influence. It's an influence. Yeah. And you have a direct influence on what your children consume, music-wise, pop culture-wise, the whole thing. While social media and online everything is feeding your kids, this is how you be cool, this is what's trendy, this is what's popping, this is what's hot. You need to be counteracting that with, you know what, in this family we do X, Y, and Z. We don't do ski yee in this family. We don't do Sexy Red in this family. You know what we do? We read books. We do this, we do that. You know, we had an interesting overlap from how it used to be said back in the day. If you didn't want somebody to find something that you considered valuable, whether it be money, jewels, whatever, what did they say? You hide it in a book. Because why? A nigga ain't gonna read. And that's jacked up. And, you know, it gives credence to where we are now. No one is encouraging your kids. Who's encouraging your kids to read? Everything is online. Everything. Even school is promoting stuff on social media because now they're in a losing battle of trying to keep your kids' attention. Then you have the parents who question the teacher, like, why can't you control my kid? Why are you calling me? This is where we're at as a community, and it's so dysfunctional and it's so unhealthy. And you looking at the teacher to do your job because you don't want to do it, and you're also on social media, and you're also consuming a bunch of garbage, and then you wonder why, you know, your kid is sneaking out the house with booty shorts on and got some of your stilettos in the book bag. You know, this is what little girls do when they think they want to be grown, but if you keep influencing them with, you know, the Krishans, the Glorillaz, the dysfunction with the Jade and Alexis and the Sexy Reds and all that, you are fortifying an influence that you're saying it's okay to be. Now, you know, we're all born into different circumstances, and we're all in different levels, and we're all trying to get to where we need to be to figure it out and yada, yada, yada. Most of us aren't going to figure it
I'll tell
out.
you something crazy. I was on social. This is straight out of social media today. A teacher of an 8th grade class was like, she was asking these 8th grade girls, and I'm not even just digging in on females, but today it just seems that way. But she's like, the girl said she wanted to have 2 kids, but she don't want to get married. And she was like, why you don't want to get married and you want to have kids in 8th grade? She was like, because he might have. She's like, I could get child support. So that's coming from home. She said, I can get child support, and why would I want to marry him? He might have issues, like he might have mental issues or something. So the teacher said, so why would you have a baby by somebody with mental issues? And, she really, see, this is when the adolescents come in.
If he has mental issues, what makes you think he's going to be able to pay you child support?
Yeah, so whatever. But that's the adolescent's mind,
yeah.
But you're just getting part of the story from the mother. You feel what I'm saying? That's coming from home. You're just getting part of the story from the mother of like, yeah, I get child. She just heard child support money, this and that. It's a however it was, she sucked it up and absorbed it. That's just whatever. But, and it's the same thing with guys. We are failing. We ain't teaching men how to be men. We ain't teaching them to be men. We're failing. We're failing in a lot of areas. Like, these guys, like, they like, get in touch with your emotions. Get in touch with your mental health. I think, see, now that we have all of this going on, it's creating a different type of male. It's creating a male that doesn't have any grit. It creates the male. See, he's in his feelings when he pull that gun out and shoots somebody else. Or if a girl, he does something to a woman, if she don't want to talk to him, like what happened in the Bronx not long ago last year, when she didn't want to talk and the dude hit her in the face or something. But these are the type of males that's being produced. They in their feelings. They not thinking. See, and all this tie together when we goes back to the topic of this discussion, education, because you can't critical think. So you're not thinking about what you're doing. You're just doing stuff.
Reacting.
You're just reacting out of emotions and lack of education. So now you're just reacting.
But it's cool to have a gun. It's cool to disrespect a female. It's cool to be a so-called thug, but you have no actual manness about you. You are childish, you are immature, you are reactive, and essentially destroying a life because you were in your feelings and you don't know how to critically think. And that's a big problem today also. Who out here is really encouraging, or even not even encouraging, who out here is demanding that their children read regularly? I don't know hardly anyone anymore these days who makes their children read. And when I was coming up, I had no choice. I had no choice. I had to. My mother used to do that same thing, like, you gonna read this book from Scholastic that I ordered when you all bought the sheet home from school, and you were like, yeah, I want this book, I want that book, and yeah, and you ordered it, and then it went and sat in the corner. Not in my house. I had to read it and then write a 1-page report. My mother probably never read the report, but at least she had evidence that I read, and consequently, I'm someone who grew up, loved reading. When one of the times I moved from one of my old apartments years ago, I had so many books that I couldn't even take them all with me when I moved, and I put a shelf out in the hallway of the building and was like, free books, and only, who took them? All the older people. All the older people.
And it's like another part of raising young men is the masculinity factor, because when masculinity goes, you're dealing strictly with emotions. So now, because masculinity is going to have you fight, not shoot somebody. The masculinity in you is going to be like, all right, if I lose, I lose. But if I see him again, we may fight again. I'm going to think my boy's going to have my back. We're going to tell me we're going to be like this and that. Because when we used to wrestle, slap box. So we was always in training to fight when we was growing up. So we didn't have a problem with fighting. If we caught a scar or something, it was like a badge of honor. Today, because everybody's filming everything, it's embarrassment, and you're gonna get in your emotions because now, you online. Everybody, your own boy had probably been filmed you and put you online before anybody else, and now you in your emotions like you got to get some get back. So now, and you think that's cool to get back. You think shooting a gun is cool, but what's not cool is the consequence that, all right, you might have took a life, but your life is gone too. And that's not cool when you like 18, 17, and you about to do this long bid. It's like my man Buck said not too long ago. He was doing a podcast because the 23-year-old lady, was it in Queens or somewhere, she got shot. They was shooting at somebody else in the car, and she the one died, and the guy that they was actually shooting for survived. And he was like, what's gangster about that? He's like, first of all, ain't no gangster out here no more. Gangsters don't even exist no more. And I was like, that's 100% true. Gangsters don't exist no more. Because that stuff right there y'all doing, that ain't gangster.
At all.
That ain't gangster.
At all.
So, you know, we're going to, that's the topic, but now we're going to get into some wacky news with y'all, you know. Straight off the headlines.
I mean, it's New Year's Eve.
What you got?
There's
what
a
kind
lot
of wacky?
of recap that this year, you know, that we've seen this year, you know. Boy, Trump is off the ballot. 2024 is an election year. It's about to go down.
He's not off totally.
I mean, he's off in Denver, and didn't somebody else just take him off?
It's like 2 states he's like off in. But I think that's like a witch hunt. Like I don't agree with that. Like what they're doing. Every time he beats something, they come up with something else. Because, like, where was all this stuff before? Like, I don't know. You know, they don't want that man in there for some strange reason. And, you know, it's not going down. But I know that young lady that was in Dubai, and this goes for all you travelers out there, Elizabeth Polanco, she's going to end up doing a year in Dubai's jail, you know, because they said she touched one of the people working at the airport, so she's in jail. She's going to do a year. I thought they said she was getting out, but she's doing a year. So you got to watch when you travel in these foreign countries. You can't take that attitude.
American mindset.
Cocky American attitude. Like, they ain't going for it. And everybody seems like that's the new destination, Dubai. Why? I don't know. I get it.
You know why? Because it's money. It's money. Where there's money.
Where you should spend
it's
money.
Opulence, and everyone thinks they're supposed to be in opulence and luxury. Selling you cool to keep you stupid. You don't have $1 million, but you will spend all of your money to go to Dubai, to go to a Beyonce concert, and then come home to an eviction note. So, I mean, again, where's your ability to be objective and to critically think? You know, this has also been the year of, like, dysfunctional relationships just taking the forefront with everything. You had Krishan and Blueface who just mobbed social media all of 2023 with shenanigans and dysfunction and madness. And it's just insanity. That, again, that's what's popularized. That's what shoved down the youth's throat, is to be dysfunctional, to be your lowest. And, you know, I get it. The young girls like Krishan Rock because she's pretty and she wears her heart on her sleeve. And, you know, she talks like like she's half dead. But, I mean, she's a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. I'll give her that. But the way that...
eye of the beholder.
Okay, I get it. You know, I'm just telling you what's out there. I'm just saying, you know. But again, dysfunction is always at the forefront with the madness of social media and just what's shoved down kids' throats today.
2020, you got the Diddy wrap up with
the
money grab or whatever happened
it's
with
like
Cassie.
Dr. Umar said it. Well, you know who said it first? Rick right here said it first. He said it months ago when the shit first hit the fan, was that with this whole thing with Ciroc, and Diddy came with the I'm suing because I'm the one who made Ciroc. He ain't lying and he ain't wrong. The only reason Ciroc is hot as it is because of him, and that's the damn truth. All of a sudden, problem one after another.
Let's go down the line, though. We could take this in history. When it was like Bill Cosby wanted to buy
NBC. His son is killed.
Problem.
His son is dead.
Michael Jackson. When he got broke in financial problems, they was like, just give up the Beatles catalog and all will be fixed. No, I'm not giving up this catalog of Elvis and the Beatles.
And now he's Wacko Jacko, and he's the child molester.
Let's talk about Prince.
The music industry enslaves you.
Yeah.
Now he's he was secretly on drugs for years, and you tarnish his legacy also.
R. Kelly. You could go to R. Kelly when R. Kelly, they want his catalog.
His catalog.
They want his catalog too. Once you ain't hot like that, they want your catalog because it's worth more. Like, give me that catalog. You gotta understand, R. Kelly wrote so many songs for people.
So many people.
So, this guy thing is crazy. And the judge just passed went on R. Kelly's side, like y'all got to pay him certain amount of money for his royalties. They just gave him a win for his royalties because that's what they want. Oh, they want to break you, take your money. They want to take your money and then be like, all right, we can fix all this because you got something. You got some collateral.
So it's like when Diddy came after those white folks with Ciroc, it was all bad.
Because they didn't want to support the De Leon brand like they promised them, because that's all his. De Leon, it was all his.
And that would have been considered their competition, and they know that he would have been the one to make it hot.
And they promised.
And I'm not saying Diddy is 100% clean before y'all come with the drama. No. We know he probably did do a bunch of bullshit, but that don't mean that he's literally guilty of. They're saying he killed Kim Porter, that he was planning to, just all kinds of madness. Then, it's like literally one black man's downfall after another when they don't comply with some other, white business thing.
Black people got to stop jumping on the bandwagon. Stop jumping on the bandwagon when it's us. Jump on that bandwagon when it's not us. But when it's us, like, you jump on and say, like, you want to condemn them because it's good news, da. And we're steady losing people of influence and stuff like that. And they're tarnishing. They did the same thing with even Martin Luther King, even the Black Panthers, everything. We can't have nothing that will go untarnished unless you're working with them and you know who them are.
It's constant. They tried to tarnish MLK's legacy with he was the womanizer, and he was also doing a bunch of bullshit. It's always the same thing. They even tried it with Malcolm X to say he was gay, and the Muslim community was like, if y'all don't go and kick rocks with that, and you never heard that again. That's how we need to be in all of these instances. Like the Muslim community jumped up and was like, you will not tarnish Brother X's name. And we're always quick, like you said, to jump on the bandwagon to bring one of ours down. And not saying they're innocent, but the others, right, wrong, or indifferent, will stick together and they'll take you in the cut and tell you were wrong.
Trump going through it, but he still got his supporters. There's a lot of people that don't support him, but more people
than ever. More people than ever support him.
Yeah, because he ain't playing. He's another one. He's this, he's that, he's a racist. They want to turn it. Yeah, Trump's a racist. All the black people call him racist. Now, you go through all this, man, records and stuff, and people, even Tony Yayo, and some of the people you wouldn't even think this dude would talk to, he done hung out and kicked. And it was before he had no political aspirations.
None.
Trump was hanging out with these people, with everybody, a lot of black people, and all of a sudden, here it comes. He's not playing ball, and now he's this, he's that, he's this. It's the establishment, but we could go on and on and on. But
2023 has been it's been a something else year, and it definitely is exiting with a bang. And I'm sure going into January is going to be more of a bang, because we're going to keep on seeing more and more of like exposures coming out. It's just inevitable. You have Tasha K was getting ready to extort Kevin Hart, and was like, if you don't give me $250,000, I'm releasing this video, and you already owe Cardi B $4 million. And it's like these exposés of trying to make everyone look bad, trying to expose people. You're going to see more of that in 2024, because that's just become like the new, the new trending thing. Everything is a money grab. Expose this one, expose that one. Look at TD Jakes now. He's been like one of the most inspiring figures in the black community for how many decades, and now all y'all got to say now about he's done a million good deeds. One rumor comes out, and now he's the joke of the power bottom for life now. That's his legacy now. It's just been an unfortunate way to not critically think and see the patterns that go on.
No education.
It's like you don't see.
Stupid.
They sell you cool to keep you stupid. And you got the select few who see what's really going on. But again, it's the select few. Go into 2024 with a book in your hand and a commitment to yourself to raise your awareness, your intelligence, and your intellect. Why don't you do something great for yourself? Make yourself great again.
But we're gonna wrap this up. What I'm looking forward to in 2024. I'm looking forward to the election. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty much what I'm looking forward to, the election. And we're gonna wrap this up.
I'm looking forward to the election as well. But I definitely don't want to see Ron DeSantis. What's the Indian guy's name?
I don't know his full name.
But I can't stand him. He is so obnoxious. I can't stand him. He is so obnoxious and arrogant, and he never lets you get a word in edgewise. I can't stand him. That's like I said, in this day and age, there's never going to be an Indian American president. It's just not going to happen under maybe in a few more decades, deeper into the 21st century, but it ain't happening now. I'm looking forward to the election. I just definitely don't want to see Kamala and Joe for another 4 years. I really, really do not.
We're going to wish you guys a happy new year, a safe new year. Be responsible.
Read a book.
I don't want to say the same old cliche, prosperity and all of that.
Sign up for a class.
Just do, you know what?
Take
just do you, man. Do you. Don't be stupid. Don't be sold the coolness, and don't let coolness trump you being educated. How about that?
Read a book.
So
that's what's wacky to us, and thank you for joining us. Until next time, y'all.